All right, welcome everybody to our fifth installment of our Friday morning workouts and martial arts, fitness, health, and so forth. So welcome to our live broadcast. I want to really start on time at 9 a.m. Every Friday. I respect your time and my time as well. So if you're here with me live, great. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. If you're going to watch this later, then no problem. You can always ask questions after. We pay close attention to those these videos, and we answer every single question, and we reply to different comments. So please give us feedback, and if you have questions, put them in the comments. Let's start with a recap of last week. We covered abdominal exercises and how to flatten the belly. Did you have a chance to do those exercises? A couple of people have asked me about exactly how to do it, to see it. What you're doing is you're focusing on pulling this inside as much as you can. So you're pulling the belly button towards your spine, and do it in a pulsating manner, and push your belly out completely, and then suck it in and relax. So it's a pulsating movement. So that's what you're trying to do. The second one, when you do the vacuum, it's way more aggressive. You'll feel your rib cage sticking out. So you exhale completely. And relax. From the front, when you exhale, relax. You're trying to really stick the rib cage out, pull in, make your waist as thin as possible. So Patrick, if you're watching this, just seeing it live this way just makes it a bit easier. It's pretty straightforward. It's nothing complicated. Pull the stomach in, squeeze as tight as you can, and really try to focus on making 100 reps every day, making that part of your routine. That's the first thing. Second thing, I've written about this before in the past on my blog about Laos time. Now, Laos time was originally set to be done on Fridays, every Friday morning. So if you follow me before, what does Laos time mean? If you are a fan of Bruce Lee, like I am, if you go back to a movie, Enter the Dragon, the most popular movie, the most popular martial art movie of all time. There's a scene there in the beginning when Bruce Lee meets the British intelligence agent, and they're having tea. And then there's a pupil, a student who comes in, and then he interrupts the tea ceremony, and Bruce Lee says, "It's Laos time." So Laos time, or to louse, means to insult or challenge your thought or behavior or thinking. So what I did is I just created a blog, and you can go back to my blog and reread those posts from back in 2008. And there's a blog there every Friday about a life lesson. Because every Friday I would train with my dad, the Sijo, the Grand Master, before he passed away. So we trained every Friday, and every beginning of session was started with Laos time. Now, I strongly believe in rattling the cage, and that's just an expression that my dad would use. Je vais te brasser à cage. It's not done in a bad way. It's not done in a mean way. It's just a friend, an uncle, a father, a coach, a mentor, just questioning what you believe and make you think of something else, a different point of view. So I want to start today with every Friday morning workout. We'll start with a brief Laos time. I'll challenge an idea, make you think about something, and then we'll move right along into fitness, training, questions, and martial arts. So the first idea today is learning, succeeding and learning. So you have to learn how to learn. And if you're a student of ours, you know these, but if you know it, it's always good to be reminded of it. So you have to learn how to learn. So the first step is, who do you listen to? Be careful who do you listen to, and listen carefully, listen consciously. So that means that, from what my father told me and other mentors, this is a universal concept. You model somebody that has what you want and he's been where you're at. If you want to quickly progress, you find someone whom you admire, look up to, and you find someone and you listen to the right people. So in martial arts, you want to listen to someone. If you're talking about fitness, well, you want to find someone who is fit, physically fit. He's been doing it for at least 20 years. He's consistent in his efforts. He has results. He's helped other people, hundreds of thousands of people, to get in better shape. So be careful who you listen to. In class, that'll be your instructor, your sifu. So you're lucky that in martial arts, there's that structure that you always go to the highest mountain, to the peak. The peak in that school, in your school, is the sifu. So be careful who you listen to. That's the first step. Second step, you need to become a very good teacher to you. So it doesn't matter if I'm the best teacher in the world, if you cannot integrate and apply and learn and teach yourself what I taught you, then again, if I'm the best professor, instructor, sifu in the world, you have to become the best instructor to yourself. You have to teach it to yourself. So you use what you learned, what you heard, the guidance from your mentor, from the person that you look up to in that area. And remember, who do you listen to in fitness, in martial arts, in relationships, in business, any area, and you should have a mentor in each area. Once you've taken in the information consciously and you're aware of it, then you apply it. So you teach it to yourself. In martial arts, it means to stand in front of a mirror and go through the different repetitions. It means to slow down. Don't go too fast. Don't rush through it. Take your time, step by step. Whether it's a footwork or some type of body movement or combination, slow it down. There's a saying that goes, slow is fast. When you master it slow and you can do it slowly and in the air, then it'll be a breeze to kick hard, fast within sparring and really apply it with power and speed after it's done and mastered slowly. So teach it to yourself. So slow down, be methodical, think, meditate, and visualize. Sometimes even if you don't practice physically, just by reviewing it mentally and seeing yourself doing the movement really helps and is very beneficial. Then the third step of learning is everything becomes natural. That concept, that technique that you wanted to master, you've modeled the best, you followed their advice, you practiced it, you repeated it, you taught it to yourself, then it becomes automatic. So that just like your name, if I ask you what's your name, then you know it right away. If you walk naturally. If you eat without thinking. So why are we good at those things? Because we do them often. We repeat them many hundreds and thousands of times. So put in the repetition. Usually the research on this is, for you to master a movement, it takes 300 repetitions. 300 repetitions to master a movement. So if you're in class or if you're doing an exercise and you've only done it for a couple of weeks, like maybe 25, 30, 50 repetitions, be patient. It's not enough. It takes 300 repetitions to master and integrate a movement in your chemistry, in your like muscle memory. So 300 reps. But now here's the catch. If you learn a movement wrong, so you did not model the right person, you were following a white belt, like you're a beginner and you follow a white belt or a yellow or a blue, and you see them doing a move, it looks okay but you're not sure, and you copy what they do, and then the instructor 3 months down the road, maybe, or a month later or a week later, tells you, hey, you are not doing it like correctly, and he corrects you. To unlearn the movement Science says 5,000 repetitions, 5,000 reps to unlearn what you've learned and then reintegrate the right movement. So we don't want to waste time. Do it right the first time. Okay, so remember this concept. Repeat it, but do it right. Perfect practice makes perfect, not just practice. So perfect practice, and then eventually it'll become a habit, it'll be natural, you won't think about it, and then you can move on to the next challenge. So do this with everything you do, with anything you learn, and you'll be way more successful, way faster. So learning, you're always growing or you're dying. So you're growing or stagnating. So you want to make sure that you're always growing, you're always learning something, whatever level you are. So our philosophy is, there's something in our schools that says in Chinese, for every hand there's always a faster one, and for every mountain there's always a higher one. So this philosophy of I'm never there, I'm not it, I haven't reached the pinnacle, I'll never reach it. It's a journey, it's not a destination. So keep that in mind. So question what you've learned, train it, repeat it, find the right mentors. If you're not progressing fast enough, it just means that you're not modeling the right people. So keep that in mind. So that's our Laos time for today. Let's move on to our training. The Warrior Fitness Deck, the exercises that we teach in our system for fitness. If you have this deck, and if you don't have it, you can get it at warrior.fitness. There's a free offer there, just get it, it's a no-brainer. If you've ordered it, they're on the way. I want to talk about how to use the station training system different ways today. If you have any questions, now would be the right time to ask them. If there's anything coming up, I'll just take a quick 10-second break to answer questions if questions are coming up. And we have to realize that we're like right in the middle of summer. Everyone's gone, so I'm really expecting people to watch this video a bit later tonight or tomorrow or during the weekend. So the most important thing is that you're here with me live today. If you have the exercises, and even if you don't have the deck, I want you to think about 5 exercises that you like. Okay, so think of 5 exercises, either jot them down, write them down, and think of the 5 exercises. Now with our cards, just makes it super easy, super simple to make a workout. You create a workout in under 30 seconds. You can create thousands and thousands of variables, of variations of a workout. One thing I like to do is use the keystone concept. The keystone just means that keystone is going to be that main exercise that you're going to do. So example, without even thinking about it, I have my cards, I just pick one. So let's say I just pick, let's make it a simple one. Forearm push-up. So forearm push-up is when you're on your forearms and you hold the plank and you squeeze the abs in. That's your keystone. So if your 5 exercises, whatever they are, find the one. So the one that you're gonna use as the keystone. So my keystone is forearm push-up. Okay, so your other 4 exercises, whether it's running in place, push-ups, squats, if you use our music and it comes with the system, put the music on and every station is lasting 1 minute. So you would do, let's say your first exercise are squats. However you do them, either arms crossed and you go deep and you push yourself up and you do as many reps as possible in a minute. When it buzzes, you go to the keystone. You go forearm push-up, hold that for a minute. Then you go to your next exercise. Maybe it's push-ups. So when you're doing your push-ups for a minute, when it buzzes, when on your phone, if you put a stopwatch, after a minute, go back to keystone, which is forearm push-ups. Then go back to, let's say, your single leg squat, and you do that for a minute, and then you go back to keystone. So you always go back to the keystone and you repeat that. So in a workout, you might do the keystone 10 times. So if your keystone is jumping squats, then you're gonna have a hell of a challenge and a hell of a good workout, a very intense dynamic workout. So you decide the intensity. You either make the keystone a stretch or you make it a very challenging exercise. That's one way to use the fitness system that we teach you, or you use any exercise that you want. If you're outside and you're doing footwork drills in the grass, or if you're doing sprints, great. The sprint might be the keystone, and then between each sprint, then you do a set of reps of one exercise. So I want to just cover one thing at a time every week. So one way to use this system is using this concept. If you're just joining us, then you use the keystone, one exercise as your main exercise, then do reps or do time on each exercise. In between each exercise, you put in and you go back to the keystone. That's the first thing. I hope you're using the guidance and the tips on the flattening belly exercise. Super important to do them. Now it's been a week already, so 7 days have passed. Have you done the exercise? If you have, you should automatically feel the result, the tightness, stronger muscles, better digestion. You feel like lighter, you feel more energy. I hope you're doing them, and you're also doing the vacuum exercise. The vacuum is where you want to be. The pull-in first exercise is purely to warm yourself up to this movement. But once you're really comfortable with it, you go to the vacuum and you do the vacuum at least 10 to 15 times in a row. Remember, you are your best teacher. Even if sometimes you lack motivation, you're tired, maybe like you have low energy that day, get moving. If you move for 1 minute, then 1 minute becomes 2, and then 2 becomes 3. Get the momentum going. Be dynamic, be active, stay healthy, and stay focused. Use the Laustein concept for today, which is how do you learn? How are you learning? And how are you growing? What are you reading? Who are you hanging out with? Who are your mentors? Those are very important questions that you need to answer yourself if you want to accelerate your learning and accelerate your growth. Each week, 9 a.m., use these concepts today. Thank you for being here. I'll stay on for 1 minute. Please ask me any other questions you might have, and I'll see you next week.